Hello and welcome back to the Fire Emblem Sacred Stone Superhard Ironman, where today we take on Chapter 7. Now, yesterday we took on Chapter 6, and unfortunately did see our first losses of the run. Colm, Joshua and Natasha all bit the dust. But hopefully it should leave us in quite a good position moving forward. Now, before we start, I would like to thank the people who've backed the channel on Patreon. The support is greatly appreciated. And yeah, it means a lot, so thank you very much for that. But Chapter 7, I've said it last time, and it proved to be true. Normally quite a straightforward chapter, not usually anything too tricky. And last time we did not have Vanessa, we did not have Gilliam, and we did not have Franz. Now, we did have Natasha, and she is a loss. Let's make that perfectly clear. Losing Natasha does suck. But she fades out of relevance pretty quickly. Whereas Franz, Vanessa, Gilliam could all be long-term units in our army. So, with any luck, I think it's worked out for the best. Now, this is actually the deployment we are going to take. Nemi is quite useful on this chapter, because she can occupy this ballista and start picking off these couple of enemies over here. Now, there's a couple of Iron Lance guys over here. That one's been upgraded to a Steel Lance. Stuck 2 Steel Axes down there, quite annoying. An Armor Slayer, problematic. Oh, we can't get the Energy Ring again because we don't have Colm. One day we will get the Energy Ring. But we do have Gilliam, who can tank the Ballista all day. That's quite nice. And yeah, some more units to help deal with some of the problems that we might face on this chapter. As well as some better EXP distribution, I think. So, we should be all good. Now, I'm hoping Gilliam can just sort of shrug off these two without too much bother. I'm also hoping he doesn't get doubled, which he actually doesn't at all by either of them. Very, very useful. Gilliam not getting doubled by soldiers is something we could do with continuing to happen, so well, hopefully he gains some speed soon. But I actually think all in all, this deployment is relatively fine. Now, one thing we could do, because we have Vanessa, is ferry Seth across the river to try and clear things out a little bit quicker. But I don't quite think it's worth doing. It's what I'd do in standard Fire Emblem, or Sacred Stones anyway, but maybe not when, well, we face this much opposition. I think we're going to have Gilliam clear this out, and pretty much everyone else free up this ballista for Nemi. I think that's the play. So, let's get into it without any further ado. Okay. Well, easiest way to start, I think, is just make sure Gilliam can tank both of these enemies. So that's 19 and 22. He has 14 defense, so that's 5. So doubled is 10. And 8. Doubled is 16. So that's 26, so he should be able to tank both of those without any issues. Ah, one thing I didn't actually check. It's only a thunder, it's only a fire. Okay, there's nothing suspicious going on with bolting or meteor or other siege times coming down. Which would have been very, very bad for us indeed. So, let's walk forward. Equip the Iron Lance. And firm out those two enemies, where we should be able to deal with them fairly handily. Now, let's switch our focus to these guys up here. I actually want to send Mulder in, actually, to back up Gilliam. Just in case he needs any heals. And Franz is so blocked off by these trees, I think he's another viable candidate for Gilliam's support over here. Could probably contribute quite well to that. I think Garcia is probably the best candidate to deal with these guys, particularly the axe user, who only has an iron axe. Okay, that's not too bad. Let's move in Lute and Arta, who again, good candidates to help contribute up there. Same goes for Nemi, because they're all able to chip away at that archer without facing too much sort of fire back at them. And I think Seth just sort of wants to mill around at the minute. He wants to be available everywhere. Go away, Torado. Well, no, you're not Torado, you're Murray. Go away, Murray. Okay, so we see these 5s coming in. Now, unfortunately, Gilliam doesn't actually two-shot. Oh, of course, we've already said that they don't double. I'm an idiot. I factored it in as if they were doubling, but they don't double, and we established that last turn. Or not last turn, but before this turn. But unfortunately, Gilliam doesn't actually two-shot these enemies, but shouldn't be too worrying. Ooh. Mage is on the move. Not gonna lie, I wasn't expecting that, but... Oh, now Franz can actually pick up a kill on the Steel Lance guy if this Javelin hits. Which is something I'm very much on board with. Unfortunately, the Javelin did not hit, but it does mean that that Gilliam will kill him on the enemy phase. As he gains HP, Strength, and Luck. Still no speed. I think he's gained 1 point of speed, but not enough speed. Now, this is only 13 damage, but if I take an extra 5 from hitting this guy, we actually die. Whereas if I just try and take out this enemy, we can kill them, and then the other guy is a problem for the next phase. That's the thing. There we go. Gilliam takes him out, grabs a level up of his own. Hopefully, we can see some good growths. We see the speed go up. Very important. Defense as well, continuing to move in the right direction is very nice. And I'm actually just going to sneak Franz out of here. And we'll finish up the rest of that heal staff by healing up Gilliam. Leveling up Mulder as well. Everyone's getting the level ups today. Magic, small level up, but actually not a bad one. Magic, very important on Mulder, and he doesn't grow it quite as consistently as you might think, so... This might be a bit of a mess up here, and I'm tempted to just back away. We can retreat if we need to, though. I think we're okay, because they've still got to come through that tree line, so... Let's just end. Gilliam takes the hit very nicely, strikes back. Gains a little bit more XP for his troubles. Okay. Got some enemies moving. We do need to keep an eye on that mage, for sure. Ah! Speaking of mages we need to keep an eye on. That's problematic. Okay. Can you reach Gilliam? You can. We do need to back off here. I think I'm just going to retreat Mulder for now. If you could pick up that kill for me, Gilliam, that would be greatly appreciated. Good job. Okay. So another one down. Hopefully we can isolate that mage over the wall and sort of almost use them as bait. Just going to move Vanessa sort of, well, out of the way. Is that out of the way? It is. Can actually go right here. Nestle in there. That's a safe spot, I'm pretty sure. It is. So it just leaves Loot, who isn't safe right now, and the tile below Seth should be her home. There we go. Now, this mage is a problem, but we should have the tools to deal with it. We have units in range who can, if not kill, at least stall their progress. Okay. Seth eats the thunder. Hopefully at least one of these javelins hits. Both of them, let's go. Got the pure water. We're going to send that back to the convoy. These pure waters could actually come in handy later. Okay. Wouldn't mind one of the mages taking this kill. Maybe Loot could be a good candidate. First things first, though. Let's worry about this mage over here. Let's worry about the enemy mage before we worry about our own. Okay, so we're free to go on these tiles around the mage. It's not quite what I wanted to do. It's a decent hit, but it's not what we need, unfortunately. It's not enough. Now, there is the option to just use the big Seth button. So maybe we should worry about the enemy mage first. Maybe this is the answer. We get rid of this guy, ensuring we don't need to use Seth. And then we can use Seth on the other enemy. So Nemi gets a little bit of chipping. Arta can do the same. Good. And I think we're going to try and hand this kill off to Loot. Garcia going to do the same. Very quietly, consistently contributing Garcia here. Similar to what he did last time, actually. He's just very stable when you don't really give him anything. As Loot backs enough to level up there, actually. Very nice. Okay, he gains magic and speed. Actually a very important level up with that. So she's on 8 magic, 9 speed. What about Arta? 7 magic, 8 speed. So actually, slightly ahead on both. Now, Arta has a lot more con, and Loot is slightly weighed down by these fire tomes, unfortunately, which is slightly problematic. That just means she's tied with speed on Arta, so it's not the end of the world. This actually doesn't kill Gilliam. Interesting. Can Seth actually target from the bottom? No. Okay, so we'd have to use Gilliam from the bottom, but I don't see anything wrong with using Gilliam from the bottom. Worst case scenario, Seth can use a javelin, I suppose. If Gilliam can land this hit, Franz can pick up this kill. Hurts to see Gilliam taking those attacks. But it causes me great pleasure to see Franz picking up these kills. Can he do it with a sword? He can, just a little bit more accurate. Good job. Okay, moving himself in the right direction. So far behind on strength on Kyle, who I think was on about 13. That's the big difference maker between the two, really. That big strength gap. Did anyone here actually take, like, reasonable damage? I guess Seth is probably the best option to patch up first. Okay. Okay, so we should be alright next turn. Just keep moving Erica forward, I suppose. Who's still to move? Is it just Vanessa? Yeah, that's fine. Okay, that axe guy is actually coming in hot, so 14 strength, he has 24 attack. He has a halberd. Hopefully that slows him down a bit, actually. It's got to be a heavy weapon. It's a halberd. It loses 4 speed off him, so he goes down to 6. Which, importantly, means he doesn't double Gilliam. So Gilliam should be in a perfectly reasonable spot to just, well, soak that hit up, to be honest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is actually his max move. Cool. So if we just move Franz back a tile, he's now only in Gilliam's range. We can move Seth up to the mountains, I guess. Bit of a weird one, but... And then we'll just mend Gilliam, get him all the way back healed up. In fact, do you have the Iron Lance equipped? Just check that quickly, yeah. Use the mend staff to heal Gilliam all the way back up to full. Where he should quite comfortably be able to take this. Now, to be fair, even if he does land a double, Gilliam with his massive 15 defense actually firms it quite well. And let's start tucking everyone else back in. In fact, get Erica out of the way so that Luke can go here. Arta can occupy the bridge. Garcia can just tuck in behind. And we should be alright there, I think. Slowly start progressing through this level, yeah. Even if it was a double, Gilliam has no issues with that, but it is not. Actually, I think this might be quite a nice kill for someone like Arthur or Luke to pick up. I really think Loot is... Probably not, actually. I think Arthur's the better investment because the Slayer skill from Bishop is going to be just so impactful. Is the tile... No, that tile on that mountain is not safe. Although we could just rescue Loot out, to be honest. There's no reason not to, so... It just means by doing it this way... can heal Gilliam up afterwards. Okay, good. Now all you have is a steel axe. Do you double Gilliam? I guess that's question number 1. No. So... I guess that's the answer to this problem. In fact, with only 5 speed... No, Kyle... Franz's speed is so low that he doesn't double the guy with a steel axe. That's quite disappointing. Okay, and now we can drop Loot to safety. Move Garcia over a little bit. And get ever closer to that ballista with Nemi. Once again, even if it was a double, Gilliam would not care. Although I do care that he missed. That is annoying. I think once again we're going to try and give this kill over to Arthur. I don't think that tile... Oh, the tile above him actually is safe. Okay, I guess we'll let Franz go in for a kill, for a hit then. Tis a steel axe he's facing, but he should be okay. It's a lot of damage, but he should be able to take it, or at worst, dodge. Okay, nice. That was at best. I don't know why I said at worst. I meant to say he should be able to dodge, or at worst, tank it, but I said it backwards because I'm, well, a dummy. Okay. Luke throws out her fire. Very nice. We see Arthur pick up that kill. Bags a level up for himself. Hopefully he gains speed. Skill and res, brilliant, wonderful, outstanding. I think Seth stole literally everybody else's level up luck. So yeah, we can walk Gilliam forward a square, equip the javelin, slip in behind with Moulder, and drop a heal on him. Just keep him nice and topped up. And now we get some real fun because Nemi can start riding the ballista. One of these has a steel lance, one of them has an iron lance. It makes sense to, I think, deal with the scariest weapon first, as she misses. Wonderful. I'm almost tempted to just get rid of this mage with Seth. I'm just not sure what our hit odds will be with a javelin on a mountain tile. Also, why are we carrying around an Orion's bolt? Seems a bit silly. Okay, just... Again, move in Garcia. Move in Erica. Move in Vanessa. Let the enemy phase start. Yeah, hit rate isn't great there, it's got to be said. Okay, nice. Ah. Might have to loan him somebody else's javelin. Oh, look at that one being hit by this soldier. It's a sight to behold. You do love to see it. Oh, beautiful. Okay, do you have a hammer? No, then I don't care. Wait, do you double Gilliam? That's question number 2. No. Okay, then I don't care. Go, Gilliam. Injure. Oop. And Arta can pick up the kill once again. Arta being fed quite heavily on this chapter, but it's worth it because, well, there's quite a few armor knights on the next one, and I'd like someone who can deal with them quite handily, really. Actually, nobody can reach behind Gilliam, so let's just patch him up, why not? Mulder also unintentionally gaining quite an amount of investment here. How does Franz do against them? Doesn't double, that's for sure. Good. Well done. Good job, Seth. Now we don't have to worry about that mage. That's just a massive headache out of the way. Let's not forget our most important unit. Wonderful, we missed again. Nothing but the finest, Nemi. Keep him on his toes. None of these have like a rune sword or something, do they? I don't want that popping out of nowhere. Oh, that guy does have an armor slayer. That actually is quite threatening. I wonder if we could bait him out with Vanessa. Once again, even if it was a double, Gilliam still tanks the hits, but again, it isn't. Okay. It's 18, that isn't enough. Okay, Franz, feel free to contribute. Should be fine. Just wondering if we'll need Franz to take hits in the next couple of turns, but he dodges anyway, it's fine. Because I'd rather be healing Gilliam, to be honest, but obviously losing Natasha actually showing some impact here. Ah, that's not enough for Arta to kill, but it's too much and... Okay, I just want to try and see if I can figure out this problem first. So with a slim lance, Vanessa is at full speed. Fortunately, because she's a girl and Fire Emblem always does this, she has very low con. So she loses speed using even relatively light weapons like an Iron Lance. Quite a few units in the GBA era had this issue. Isadora is another very notable one. But with 11 speed and 6 defense, I think she can tank out this Armor Slayer. She shouldn't be getting doubled. Nobody else reaches this tile. No, do not attack. And that will bring the Armor Slayer down to this mountain, where then units like Lute and Seth are free to just pick him off over the wall. Drop a heal on Gilliam, first and foremost. Probably going to turn out to be necessary. Don't think either of these can reach that tile. Not that it should matter. They should... Well... It's actually a kill. What about the hatchet from Garcia? Hey, there we go. We found the answer to the problem. How do we give Arta this kill? We use the hatchet with Garcia. Wait, where does this ballista reach? Okay, we're fine to stand here. Don't really want to do that, to be honest. Wait, was it fine below that forest tile? Ah, it was. Okay, fine. Yeah, we'll do it from here. Keep Loot and Assault. I've just used Loot! The entire point was I was setting up Arta for the kill, and then I've used Loot! What am I doing? Why have I done that? Oh, that's annoying. I'm an idiot. Okay. Fine. Okay, hopefully that's in range of this ballista, because now Gilliam can just start tanking that out. Okay, and Vanessa should firm this perfectly well. And indeed she does. The ballista deals a whole 1 damage to Gilliam. Well, he is suffering now. Okay, fine. Arthur can have the Horseslayer guy then. Don't miss, Seth. Please. Good job. Good job. Let's go. Nothing but the finest from Seth there. Javelin broke. That's okay. I'm sure we've got some in reserve, and if not, we can nip back to Ide and pick some up. Good job, Arthur. Okay, I think either way he was only getting 1 of those kills, so he got 1 either way and Luke got the other. It's just annoying that we did all that setup and then ended up not needing it. Oh, I've been forgetting to attack with Nemi. Ah, disaster. Hey, she got a hit. Hold on. Okay. Can he stand on that bush? No, good. Equip an Iron Lance. Move Vanessa out of there. Heal her, just in case something stray comes and lands a hit on her. Okay. This enemy's going to go down, start giving Gilliam some attacks, but Gilliam does not care. Actually levels up. He's very thankful for being attacked. Okay. Would have liked to have seen strength or speed, but defense going up is never going to be a bad thing. It's definitely his most important stat, and with that he actually takes 0s from the ballista. I believe that was the 2nd attack from that ballista. Am I correct? I can't check. Okay. Okay. Soften this guy up a little bit further with Gilliam. But you do want to keep moving Art around. And Luke should now be able to take this kill, providing she hits. Cool. Gets a level up for her troubles. Would have really liked to have seen speed go up. Still a solid level up though. She gained magic. Skill is okay too, just helping bolster her accuracy, but yeah, would have really liked to have seen speed go up. Okay, rescue her out, drop her, so she doesn't have to take attacks from the ballista. Heal Franz just for some free XP. And Nemi can get back on her attacks, and indeed she lands that one. Good. Okay, keep moving Eric around. She does have to get to the objective eventually, after all. And before we go any further, after those attacks he took from the soldier or the mercenary a second ago. Just speed. Ah! It's not what I wanted. Yeah, before we go any further, we'll just patch Gilliam up. Now, I actually think 11 HP is kind of fine there, so we're just going to hit the other one. Okay, we'll miss the other one, I guess. And the ballista broke. Nemi is no longer able to use it, unfortunately. And we're just going to send Gilliam up here. Now, that steel axe is a bit threatening, so I don't want to go sort of too close. But if we can start having it move towards us, that would be very beneficial. In fact, I don't know why we're being so cautious with Seth. He's more than capable of tanking those ballista hits if we need to. Although they still choose Gilliam. I think they're both on 16 defense, actually. I think they're both taking zeros from it. Yeah, they are. Okay, wonderful. Okay. Move Seth up here. I think this ballista has one more shot left in it. Does anyone else need healing? Loot. Cool. I'd quite like to give Arta these Steel Lance enemies if we could. That are up on this side, which is why I'm just sort of edging him and loot over. Okay. Hopefully Seth can deal with this. Dodges the Steel Axe. Lands his first hit. Will land his second as well. Might be able to give Gilliam that kill. Can always walk up, throw a javelin, see what happens. And there we go, the ballista is in fact out. Excellent. Yeah, what's the harm in trying, right? Missed. Shame. Finish him off with Seth. I don't just want to leave a steel axe like milling around any longer than we have to. Especially not for the sake of EXP distribution. Okay, so now that the ballista's down, we have a lot more freedom to sort of move up with everyone else. So, well, let's use that freedom. Still want to be a little bit careful. Don't want to go too far, but... you know. Take what we can get. Okay, hopefully Gilliam can actually, like, secure this kill. It'll take him, like, years. Could send Franz up to help. Okay, now Arta could come in and kill off that guy. Okay, it's good to know that he actually does secure the kill. Only issue is I don't really want him standing there sort of tanking that steel lance. Actually, that's only an iron lance, isn't it? Still don't really want him tanking it. Although he probably could. Yeah, let's see what happens. By that, I mean, we'll take this kill and then run the numbers. Actually, is Franz even in range to rescue? I sort of just assumed he was, but there's every chance he isn't. Magic is a very nice level up there, anyway. Okay, at least neither of those are in range. Oh, that's a longbow. I did not clock that. Okay, very fortunate there. Okay, he only has 19 attack, so yeah, he's not killing Arta. And Franz is in range to rescue. Although, I'm kind of fine with Arta just sort of dealing with this guy on his own. Doesn't need any help. Okay. We do need to get Seth and Gilliam moving over to sort of the middle here, especially Seth, because he needs to take the boss kill. But there isn't that much rush, to be honest. Kind of more scared for Franz than I am for Arta. Yeah, only takes 17. And Arta's going to crit for the kill. Nope. Okay, tried to will it into existence, didn't work. He will get the kill though, can just take it on the player phase. He chose Seth. Maybe he's on a speed run and, you know, hitting 0 once is better than hitting 0 twice, I guess. Okay, don't miss. Good. Gonna see if we can give this kill over to Loot, and if not, I'm just gonna rescue her out with Seth and move Seth in the other direction. Nice, good job, Loot. Still gaining a very decent amount of XP there, 38. Very comfortable. Oh, nice. Does actually bag a crit. Just a turn later than I anticipated. By anticipated, I mean guessed. Okay, so it looks like we can bring one of these soldiers down just, like, on his own. If we stand there. Which would actually be quite ideal. Might be biting off a little bit more than I can chew there, but we are going to have Seth coming this way too, so shouldn't be too much of an issue. Oh, Nami. Good dodge. Well done, Franz. Also can actually come in very close range here and start trying to chip down at that guy. It's not great though, considering the amount of HP that he's on. Okay, that makes him a lot safer. Not quite safe enough. Not for my liking at this point, anyway. Okay. Might leave Molder in range there, actually. Yeah, it does. Oops. Although, can just rescue him out. Yeah, we can leave Arta in range, I suppose, and if he comes this way, we just take the kill with somebody else, Arta, Loot, Gilliam, whoever's in range. No real issues doing that one. Oh, there's a very slim crit chance on that longbow, which I did not see before. Okay, that's time to stop playing around with this guy. I'm not banking on that 3% crit eventually landing. Okay, good job, Loot. And then Arta can take the kill. And we'll use Franz to bait out the final archer up here. No. What? I think I misclicked off of Franz and just onto the floor. Okay, that is your kill, Arta. Good job. Gains magic again. Okay, would like to have seen his speed go up a little bit more, but still essentially tied with Loot because she's weighed down by her her heavier tomes. Or not her heavier tomes, but her lower con, because once again, Fire Emblem has a strange attitude towards females. Okay, so Franz tanks this guy up. And we should be okay to just let Seth then take the boss kill. In fact, it's probably quicker, isn't it? It's out of range, right? Didn't want to botch that up. I mean, I don't know what they would have to be in range there. Like an extra long bow, but... Okay. This might actually be a decent kill for Franz to take. The only other option really is Loot, who I would be quite happy to get it, but I am fine with Franz picking up this one. Loot can take the chip, No issues with that. Loot actually has seen some decent leveling on this mission. Just the Iron Sword is going to pick up this last kill. Thank God that hit. Otherwise I'd have looked very silly. And Franz does in fact level up. And that pushes him to level 10, so he could use this Knight's Crest as soon as we get it. That's not the level up to show you want the Knight's Crest, Franz. It's Kyle, isn't it? It's got to be. I mean, Franz's level ups have been atrocious. Murray has ended up with a light brand. Did not notice that one. Okay. I mean, I'm assuming he doesn't doesn't kill me with a steel lance. It's way too heavy. It's not even that much more might, actually. Although, he will be running off of his... well, not his... It's going to be a messy kill, but we should be able to pick it up without too much trouble. I'm just going to wait in front of him. I want to see what he does to us. I'm just going to drop Erica over here and run away. How on earth has he ended up with a light brand? Okay. Oh. That's annoying. Thought we'd be able to heal Franz and we can't. Never mind. Sticking with the light brand, your ballista have failed. Well, you only manned one of them for a start. I think... if you want your, you know, some constructive criticism regarding your ballista, maybe equip people onto both of them? Like, let them both be in use rather than just one of them? There's no crit chance there. Like, we might as well go for it. We can just rescue her out with Franz or something. Pew! Hey, good touch. Okay, just make sure she doesn't die before we forget when Seth inevitably misses. See, told you, Seth inevitably misses. Although he does get the dodge in too, so that's quite nice. Just realised we could also send in Arta for a bit of extra chip. This looks like it doesn't matter, it actually does. If it hits, it means Seth will still kill after Murray heals, which is, you know, this isn't just for fun, although it is partially for fun. Okay, 1 XP, wonderful. Can't drop Arta, so we can't do that one again next turn, but never mind. Well, Seth, Loot and Arta tried to set you up, it just didn't work. Mostly because you missed, actually. It's not their fault. Good dodge. Nice. Oh, 1 XP off of leveling. Bit of extra XP into Molder. And might as well Iron Lance it to finish it off, right? Don't know why we wouldn't do that. Cool. And this will level Seth up, because it will give him at least a single point of experience. Okay, strength and speed again. Okay, Seth is at 17 speed. That feels really, really good. Okay, I don't think we have anything else to do here, so, let's bail. And that clears Chapter 7, so we are now inside of Castle RENVALL. And next, we rejoin Ephraim and his little party, but that will be on the next video. Thank you all very much for watching, and thank you again to everyone who backs the channel on Patreon. The support is greatly appreciated. And I will catch you all next time, where we will take on Chapter 8 and meet up with the Ephraim squad. I'll see you all soon. Have a wonderful night.